Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I should say good morning because this video is a real life get ready for work with me. So after I finished filming it, off I went to work, and I think that's really important because it only shows you the essentials, of which every day is a cuddle with BB and a little bit of teasing and playing with her until she's totally over it and ready for her breakfast. So that's exactly what I did that morning. I also, on a productive note, always try and make the bed before I really get started with anything because I think it's a nice positive way to get started. I'm wearing my absolute favorite summer PJs, which I will link down below along with everything else that I show you that I think might be useful to you. Not that many people seem to believe in air conditioning here, at least not in the apartments I've lived in, and so it's nice to have something light and a nice light jersey to sleep in. And same goes for my robe. It's also really nice jersey-like fabric that washes really well. Super important. I do put my nightwear in the dryer, and I often get makeup or face wash or food on my robe, and so it's really important that it washes well. So here I'm just basically getting a blank canvas started with my face with just a very gentle face wash and doing all of those things that we all do in the morning: washing face, brushing teeth, contacts on, ready for the day right after my shower. And at this point I just start to feel awake. My coffee at this point is also in the process of being made, so I usually hit the button and the coffee is just coming out of the Nespresso machine while I brush my teeth, and then it is time for some caffeine, and then I either have a bit more of a leisurely breakfast, or what I've been doing lately, which you're about to see, is just going ahead and getting a little bit of studying in. I'm studying for some professional exams. I have 4 that I intend to take over the next few weeks, and so every morning and every day after work I try and get about at least half an hour of studying done in the morning and about half an hour to an hour done every evening as well, and just that consistency really works for me. And the berries in BC are starting to taste good finally, rather than like small bright colored stones, and so I've been just enjoying having fruit, which is also zero work, for breakfast, and just sitting out on the patio and enjoying it. Everything in the garden down below is in bloom and very green, and so it's nice to look at. Equally, when I do my makeup, I tend to do it right by the window, and I know that sometimes it's something that you may not be used to seeing online, is makeup and getting ready on a real day with real life sunlight rather than studio lighting, but it's something that I feel very strongly about. So if you like it, please give this video a thumbs up and come back for more, because it's really important to me to just show you things as they look in real life, and this is what my face looks like in sunlight, not studio lighting. And the same goes for the makeup as well, which I think it's important to have look natural, because I'm going to be wearing it under very harsh lighting as well, which is office lighting rather than flattering studio lights that make pancake makeup look light. So you'll see I don't use a lot of foundation. I use BB cream, and I find that that really works for me because you can then still see the texture of my skin. And I'll turn to the side in a moment, and you can just about see that even though I am putting the BB cream all over my face and it's a healthy layer of it, I like that because it contains sunscreen as well, you can still see little freckles and little imperfections through it, as well as natural skin texture, and I think that's wonderful rather than seeing the texture of your makeup. I do like to set it with a powder foundation, and if you're looking to try a new one, I'm really happy with this one. I'd been using the Dior for a long time. I still do like it, but this one gives an especially natural finish that I find looks really nice under office lighting. It's supposed to have some new technology that makes your pores look completely invisible, you know the drill, but it's just a nice powder that mattifies nicely as well. So I just kind of checked to make sure that nothing looks cakey, and then move on to the next step, which is just doing some quick, light, flattering eye makeup. So I start with a primer so that everything doesn't crease by 11 o'clock, and I just spread that all over the eyelid. I'm using a little bit more than I need to. It just kind of is coming out of the tube that way right now. And then I use my favorite bronzer. I've been loyal to this one for years, and I kind of do contour a little bit with it, even though it's not really a contour, but I'm so pale that it kind of works that way. and I just buff it right in, make sure that there are no harsh angles or anything like that, and then buff it out even more with something that has a little bit more shimmer. So this is my favorite Hourglass bronzer, and they really do different things and complement each other nicely, and the whole effect just warms up my skin rather than changing its color or doing any kind of harsh contour. And then you can see I just curled my eyelashes while making weird faces, and then I'm using my current favorite trick, which is to use bronzer in the crease of my eyelid. There's something about this that really covers the veins up nicely on my eyelids and just gives me a nice, healthy, awake glow. Same thing with the eye palette that I chose to use. So I'm starting with the outer V with this kind of wondrous brown shade that's in it. It's very light, and so you get that kind of definition at the outer corner without a lot of harsh darkness. And I just buff that out and then go in with the pretty highlighter, the champagne shade, on the brow bone and the inner eye corner. I'm really loving this palette. It was quite the splurge, but definitely a good one. It's probably my second favorite palette after Coco Mirage, which is probably my first. And there's a really pretty rose gold shade in it that I put all over the eyelid as a wash. And then I always use a Q-tip dipped in eye makeup remover to go ahead and remove any dark shadow that's fallen below my eyelids, because again, under office lighting, that'll just make me look so much more tired than I even am. And then I do my under eye concealer. Again, you don't need that much of it. I do use two different products when I feel like I look a little tired. I use my YSL, and then I follow it up with my Rose Radiant, and it's not really concealer so much as a brightener, and it really does make a difference, I find, to the overall look. I'm trying to sort of contort myself to show you how I do my eyeliner, but the main thing is just practice, and this particular liner has a pen tip that I'm very loyal to. I keep reordering it over and over. It's actually a drugstore price. It's Japanese and it's amazing. It just is so dark, it never smudges, stays on all day, and I find it particularly easy to use. So that's what it looks like. And then I just add 2 coats of mascara. I spent a bit of time on this. I kind of wiggle the brush. This one has a curved brush, so I push it up into the lashes to get a little extra lift. And this step I find is worth taking a couple extra seconds on so that you look extra awake and you get a little bit of lash definition. Same thing with my brows. They're microbladed, so they don't need a lot of work, but just a little bit of gel. And then blush is probably my favorite step. I just love what a difference it makes. And then I just add a highlighter, probably more than I need. You can see it kind of flying through the air in the sunlight. I do love my highlight, but I think it also looks really pretty as well, so I enjoy that step. And then if you'd like to soften the eye look a little bit, I like to just use that same pointy brush and just brush it over the eyeliner to soften a little bit. Same with the lips. I do lip liner and then I apply lip balm on top and just use my finger to buff everything out, and that combined with the rubbing my lips with the towel that you saw at the beginning gives me a really nice plump look. My favorite perfume is this wonderful Tom Ford one that is just so wonderful. It smells just like a vacation, even if you don't currently have one scheduled. It's got coconut and it smells like the sea a little bit. It's really lovely. And I've gone back when I'm in a pinch and in a hurry and I just want to get the day started to just curling my hair the same way I have for the last 10 years. It's just so quick and so easy. I do have a full tutorial on this, and it's just the quickest way I know how to do my hair nicely, and the curls will last for days as well. Unless it's a really hot day or really high humidity, they will just stay in my hair, which is exactly how I like it. I like effortless hair. For a little extra volume, I use a little bit of the Oribe dry texturizing spray, and it works really well. And then it's time to put my jewelry once my perfume and other products have soaked in, because I wear pearls every day and you don't want to expose those to any harsh chemicals, so it's nice to wait. You can do everything else you need to do to get ready. I put my dress on. I love this new dress. It's so pretty. It really has all of the summer vibes that I'm looking for right now. And then I put on my Tahitian studs, which are on free shipping along with everything else from Nouvelle Pearl and Nouvelle Apparel until next Friday. And then I'm wearing my Victory pendant on this really pretty rope chain that has a nice texture to it. And the nice part about it too, when you're in a hurry, is it doesn't tangle because it's thick enough that it doesn't loop in on itself. So that is the overall look. Lots of pretty shimmer. Even in the texture of the dress, it's a really pretty silk that has a nice shine, and that is mimicked in the eyeshadow and just the overall glowy kind of lightheartedness of the overall look. I always bring a pashmina because, as summery as I may feel, my office doesn't necessarily feel that way due to the overzealous air conditioning. So I'm wearing my cornflower blue scarf, just wrapping that around my neck. I think it goes really nicely with the print of this dress. And then you can see I have my handbag and my tote bag ready to go. My tote bag contains my lunch as well as any orders that I need to ship out, and off I go to work. So thank you so much for watching and following along on my real life morning. I appreciate your support for these kind of real life videos, and I will see you in my next installment on style.